Hey y'all, happy Tuesday. Happy Spoken Word Tuesday. Anyway, I hope you guys Tuesdays come along fine. You guys know on Tuesdays I like to bring the word. Okay, so today, of course, I'm still reading out of Proverbs. Because remember, Proverbs is how you gain your wisdom and your knowledge, and how, it'll help you walk through life, okay? So that's why I'm so focused on Proverbs, but I'll be going to something else soon. But I first must instill this in you guys' membranes that you need Proverbs to get through life, okay? And then be able to, battle all these, tribulations and, and trials, that come to us in this world. Because me, like I said, I'm prone to persecution and I experience a lot. And I'm talking about, and I just gotta keep on taking it in. But I'm learning that every time I overcome something, there's another door opening for me. So they're all tests. And believe me, over this weekend, I had a huge test, and it hurted me. But you know what? I won that test because I didn't get mad, I didn't get angry. I spoke a few words, and I moved forward. And then the reason why I know it's a test because the very next day my better half came in and something random happened to him too. Like he was like, I don't even know what happened, but it just I just randomly threw on the bus. And I'm like, the same thing happened to me. So it happened to me on a Saturday night, and then Sunday, the very next day, it happened to my better half. So and also, I also know that the Father brought into my life because we go through these certain things, spiritual and everything. But we do know what happened to me Saturday and what happened to him the very next day, Sunday. It had to be from the Father, right? Because the way it happened on both of the things that happened to us, it was random, right? And if I would be lying if I would tell you guys I wasn't hurt. Because what happened to me hurted me dearly, and I cried and I cried and I cried, and that was just a part of cleansing my soul and just being able to move on to the next chapter in my life. And also realizing that people pretend well. You think people love you, but family, friends, you really think they do, but for real, they be having a certain way about you, and you just don't know. Sometimes, you because me, I love to be loved, but I do understand that love has waxed cold. So when things like that happen to me, it affects me greatly because I'm a person of love. I want to give love. I want to be loved. That's what I like to do, But even though we in this era of time and love has waxed cold, that's what's affecting me because love has waxed cold. And I'm feeling it from both sides of my family. Mama's side, daddy's side, just both sides, But that's just letting me know that I must be doing something right in my stand, because man, what happened to me over this weekend and my better half was just very random and unexpected and was very hurtful and caused me to make a life changing decision, to just move forward and hey, conquer the world, with whomever the Father want me to conquer the world with. Okay. So, anyway, enough about that. I am going to read Proverbs right now, chapter 18, verses 1 through 14. It do go to 28 chapters. 28 verses, but I don't like to keep you guys so long, so I try to break it down when there's so many verses in this chapter. So, like I said, it's 28 verses in this chapter, Proverbs 18. I'm going to do 1 through 14, and next Spoken Word Tuesday, I'm going to do 14 through 28 for my peeps. Okay. So, of course, I'm put my covering on, okay? With prophesizing or, praying for the Father. We're supposed to cover our head and honor the Father. And especially if you ain't got no head, because I'm not married yet. But, of course, I'm looking forward to it then. When my head comes, he will be my head, my leader and my provider. What a man's supposed to be. And he do know his role. All right. So, I'm going to read the header of chapter 18, Proverbs, KJV version. And the header says, a fool's mouth is his destruction. Who's finding a wife finding a good thing? A man that had friends must show himself friendly. Look like I might have read this, but it's okay. All right, so verse 1. Through desire, a man, having separated himself, seeketh and intermeddleth with all wisdom. Verse 2. A fool had no delight in understanding, but that his heart may discover itself. When the wicked cometh, then cometh also contempt, and with ignominy reproach. The words of a man's mouth are as deep waters, and the wellspring of wisdom as a flowing brook. It is not good to accept the person of the wicked, to overthrow the righteous in judgment. A fool's lips enter into contention, and his mouth calleth for strokes. A fool's mouth is his destruction, and his lips are the snare of his soul. The words of a talebearer are as wounds, as they go down into the innermost parts of the belly. He also that is slothful in his work is brother to him that is a great waster. The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it, and is safe. The rich man's wealth is his strong city, and as an high wall in his own conceit. Before destruction the heart of man is haughty, and before honor is humility. He that answereth a matter before he hear it, it is folly and shame unto him. And verse 14. The spirit of a man will sustain his infirmity, but a wounded spirit, who can bear? All right, you guys. So now, I like to analyze this. I'm just loosen this up a little bit right now. Analyze these verses so you guys can get an understanding, okay? And also, you guys can, when you go here, you will understand what the scripture is saying, okay? All right. So, verse 1 says, through desire a man having separated himself, seeking and intermeddle with all wisdom. So just me or whomever separate themselves. And me separating myself would be what I'm doing now. Separating myself to learn the word, to become knowledgeable, because knowledge is power, right? So I can be able to be a help to those in need and everything, to be a go-to person, somebody needs some type of wisdom and advice, because I'm being used as a tool, as an instrument, and the Father have found me worthy to do these things. So, like it said, having separated himself, separated herself, separating myself, and seeking and intermeddling with all wisdom. That's what I'm doing right now, because I want that wisdom, right? I want the wisdom so I can get all the supernatural powers, because with all this wisdom, seeking the Father diligently, trust and believe becomes supernatural powers that the average person would never be able to see, feel, or practice. But those who are doing this very thing, having separated himself, seeking and intermeddling with all wisdom, that's his blessing and part of his reward. But his great reward come later, and he will be received by the Father. All right. Verse 2. A fool had no delight in understanding, but that his heart may discover himself. So a fool, like I say, to keep him dumb, put it in the book. That's a fool. A fool is a person who don't even want to learn, who don't even want to understand, just walk through life thinking they knowing everything, fooling themselves, walking in error, and gonna perish eventually, because it's gonna happen. It's definitely gonna perish, because a fool delight in no understanding. He don't even want to learn or anything, right? So if you don't want to learn to understand, then what are you here for? I mean, we all got a purpose on this earth, right? And you should want to learn so you can learn how to live, okay? So, it's already written. A person who don't want to learn and understand is considered a fool, okay? And you are a fool, and eventually everything about you is going to fall. And that's because my people perish because of lack of understanding, okay? Verse 3. When the wicked cometh, then also cometh contempt, and with ignominy reproach. So it said when the wicked cometh, then come, attempt, temptation, what people want to do things, because you got that one person wicked and powerful as ever can come in and sway everything and make everything go their way and make people get on their team to go follow their filthy ways, right? So when they come, they bring their wickedness with it. They bring their manipulative ways, their deceitful ways, and they be able to convince people to do the same things they do, right? So when they start bringing all this stuff upon, around their neighbors or whomever they are around, that's when contempt comes, because it causes a stir up around the people, because that very person that came in and brought all that negative energy and convinced people with weak mind to follow his ways to create all this contention amongst them. All right. Verse 4. The words of a man's mouth are as deep waters, and the wellspring of wisdom as a flowing brook. So you ever heard that saying, sticks and stones, they break my bones, but words never hurt me. So, that's a blatant lie. Because it's telling you right now, the words of a man's mouth are as deep waters. Remember, the power of life and death is in our tongue. So, of course, words can hurt you. Words can make a whole life-changing decision to you. Words can make you go harm yourself. Words can make you go love somebody. Words can make you go, hold somebody and marry somebody. Yes. Words, remember, because the words is what's been penetrated through our mind, and causing our mind and our heart to work. So words are very important. Yes, words can hurt you and punish you, and even though that little saying sticks and stones may break my bones, the words never hurt you. So I just proved that lie. Okay, that lie's at the door. So from this point on, moving forward, you do know that words will hurt you, and that life and death is in the power of our tongue, the words. Okay. All right, verse 5. It is not good to accept the person of the wicked, to overthrow the righteous in judgment. So it's just saying, like, don't be so accepting to those who want to do evil things, right? Bringing all their evil ideas to come in and to try to, subdue the righteous people, to try to get over, because, they ain't got nothing happy going on in their life, so misery loves company, so they bring it on and come on through, right? And try to convince everybody else to overthrow the righteous, okay? So stay away from those kind of people. You should be able to read their energy, unless you got the same kind of energy, you want the energy. But you can sense that if you're a righteous person, to know when that person come around, you can feel that tension, like, oh my goodness, they come. Got to be careful to get away from him, because we all feeling good and doing right things over here, and this one person going to come over here and get into this weak man and overthrow us all, okay? Stay away from them kind of people. All right. Verse 7. A fool's mouth is his destruction, and his lips are the snare of his soul. So you see, a fool is just everything. A fool will experience all kind of stuff, in their life, right? Because they're a fool, right? They're ignorant, right? So they're fools. They lack understanding, which causes them to perish, right? And they also set themselves up, right? They cause their own selves to be snared and trapped. Because remember, even though you out there deceiving, you also being deceived, right? So even though the fool is being a fool, okay, we're being a fool to that fool is also being fooled, right? So they're all fools and they're all ignorant, and soon they will all perish, okay? So remember, a fool's mouth is his destruction, and his lips are the snare of his own tongue, right? So a fool will cause them their own life to be taken, all because of the ignorance of their speech. All right. Verse 8. The words of a talebearer are as wounds, and they go down into the innermost parts of the belly. So it's telling you, people may think when you go lie, a talebearer, against your friend or against your neighbor or whomever it is, right? That can mess somebody up for the rest of their life, because it'll bring a reputation on that person, and that person don't even been done stuff. But because you got a person, a talebearer, they got power, people who gonna listen to them, they don't want to put forth a reputation on their neighbor, a straight tail, lying on that person, destroying that person, mentally and physically, because now they got to walk through life with everybody looking at them a certain way, because that talebearer went and lied on that person for no very good reason, okay? Causing that problem, causing that person a lot of contention in their life, a lot of people looking at them in certain ways and treating them a certain way, all because of that talebearer, right? But that talebearer, remember, will not go unpunished. Verse 9. He also that is slothful in his work is brother to him that is a great waster. So it's just saying that he who is slothful deals with, hanging around the same people, right? Deals around the same slothful people. So therefore they're going to be slothful together. So they wasting their life and wasting their time together, okay? So a slothful person, is the same to a brother who's a waster, okay? So they the both same peas in a pot. Verse 10. The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it and is safe. Right. So me, man, yeah, I love the Father now. Like I said, I fall short of the glory. Ain't nobody perfect, right? But I'm trying to run to him, because I'm trying to tell you that's my Savior, and that's who do save me, and from all the things I go through. Like I told you, I'm prone to persecution. I'm so tired of people still coming at me, but the Father said, if they hate me, they're going to hate you. If they listen to me, they're going to listen to you. So I'm receiving both of it, which is fine. It feels good to be worthy. But yes, I am running to the Father, okay? I'm seeking the Father, okay? Because I know that's who's going to save me and everything, okay? All right. see. And yes, the name of the Lord is a strong tower. The name itself is strong, okay? It holds power in it. But remember, the Father want us to seek salvation, okay? So run to the Father. He is a strong tower. And if you run to him, you will be safe. If you run to him and seek him in spirit and truth with a contrite heart, he is that tower and he will save you, okay? Verse 11. The rich man's wealth is his strong city, and as an high wall his own conceit. So the rich man, you see, he be going his own mind, right? Nothing else matters to him because he feel like he know everything or she know everything because they wealthy. Who can tell them something? Nobody can tell them nothing because they got the world in their hands, right? But see, they're only deceiving themselves, okay? So they building this high wall around their whole life, making themselves, to be the most powerful person because of their money, but they only building themselves up in deception, right? That's going to cause them own self to become a snare unto his own life because for the love of money is the root of all evil. Money itself is not evil, but it's what people do with the money, okay? So for the love of money is the root of all evil, okay? All right. And you know what? For some reason, guys, oh, no, I didn't. Let me see. The riches as well. Okay. Verse 12. I want to say it again here. Before destruction, the heart of a man is haughty, and before honor is humility. Okay, so before destruction, the heart of a man is haughty. So it's like before falling come great pride, because that person become prideful in his ways because he's in the fall. That means he ever got all the way to the top, and just didn't care and reached this level to peak and everything, and done everything wrong by it. So it's time for him to fall down, right? And on their way of falling down, they become hot, they become prideful. Then you start seeing their ways like they the best ever. You can't do nothing with them. They above you, you beneath them, okay? That's when that fall come in, okay? Because they done reached that peak. What goes up, especially not the righteous, must come down. So you reach a certain point in your life, and you feel that you the God yourself, okay? And nobody is above you, but everybody is beneath you, okay? That's that spirit wants you to reach reach the top of your level, the top of your peak. But once you get there, okay, and you have overlooked the Father and forgot, you become prideful, right? And that very pride is what leads you to your fall because you forgot that everything you got came from the Father, okay? So now you got pride and you become haughty because your mind is confused thinking something else, thinking it was you when it was the Father. And, you cause your own life to perish, forgetting. Okay, and it says, and before honor is humility. Okay, so yes, before honor is humility, it's dignity, it's morals, okay? So we know when we honor somebody, it's got to be from a moral standards. It's got to be from a humility standards, okay? Because like for instance, if this man can be homeless, smelling and everything, right? That's fine, but I still got humility for him because he's a human. He's still same for me. He's still same as me. Okay, he's still a human, right? So I'm still gonna honor him. I'm still gonna have humility to that person because he's still one of God's children. Okay. All right. Verse 13. He that answereth a matter before he hear it, it is folly and shame unto him. Yeah, you got those people that think they know everything, don't even read. Like for instance, you got people, they try to tell you about the Father like me. You try to tell them about the Father, they come and tell you like, no, them go like that, and you be like, did you even read it? So you gonna wait a minute. So I'm reading. So you're trying to tell me my eyes not deceiving me? Here you going even read or anything, but you gonna tell me I'm wrong, right? And persecute me because you too stupid to know that in order for you to understand, you gotta go read. And the Bible is full of mysteries anyway. So how do you understand if the Father do not bring these mysteries to you? They have to be broken down and opened up to you. It's basically sealed to many people. It's a book of mysteries, right? So how dare you go tell somebody they don't know what they doing, and let it say it took all these years and sustain his infirmity, but a wounded spirit who can bear. So they're saying the spirit of a man will sustain his infirmity, right? Infirmity can be all type of diseases, just waves or anything going on with your mind, body, soul, and spirit. You know, something that's bothering you, probably permanently or maybe semi-permanently, okay? But that spirit will be able to sustain it. It depends on the spirit of the person, right? You got foul spirits, you got good spirits, right? So depending on the spirit will sustain that infirmity, you know, because even with stress or even getting angry can cause health problems amongst us, right? That really brings health problems. Being angry, being stressed, being depressed, it brings upon health problems that leads to medication, more medication, then you die, okay? So it's the spirit of that person. Keep your heart and your spirit open, you know, so you can see the goodly and godly thing, so you can stay healthy and understand, you know, by following the word that you can walk through life and healthy, you know, just walk through like woo, 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 and people will see that and understand that you are a man or a woman of the Father, right? Because they're going to be looking like, how they doing all that? I mean, we about the same age, and they just super energized and everything just going, they're doing good. It's because that person, remember, ran to that strong tower. Remember, if you run to that strong tower, the Father, you will be saved, okay? And he will protect you, okay? But a wounded spirit who can bear. So that spirit that's of foul and vile ways, who can bear it? That spirit, you come around, like I said, you can smell it, you can sense it. It's so much tension, you know, you can like cut it with a knife around certain people's spirits, okay? So you can, with a sense of discernment, you can sense a good spirit and a bad spirit, but know that very spirit will determine the sustainability of your infirmities, or that very spirit will keep people away from you, okay? And keep you isolated until you learn that you need to change that spirit, okay? Or change the people who are the spirits you're around, because even though it might not even be your spirit, but it can be an influence of the people you're around causing that spirit to come upon you, okay? So remember, it is your spirit, your heart, your mind, and soul, you know, that will keep you apart, okay? Don't forget, like the Father say, run in his tower, run to that strong tower, and he will save you. Because I know y'all got to see this great falling away. There's a great falling away in our children. I'm telling y'all, I had to, even though this weekend, you know, I probably did step out of my boundaries, though. You know, I wanted to say one thing before get off here, because on this weekend, like I say, I was out here, my family on my dad's side came from Chicago out here. You know, it was great. You know, I got a chance to spend Saturday with them. And let me tell y'all something happened, right? Something happened, okay, where it caused me to say something to a boy because he gets in the pool, and I mean, they have cousins and everything, and I guess for some reason, the little girl, he made her feel as if like, she always beat him up and he was trembling, and she was the strong one, you know, and I'm telling y'all, I immediately had to stop that, and I had to make him know, no, you are a king, okay, and you got to be protecting the leader over her, because she was standing there looking like, basically feeling like, I can't believe he's saying all this, and he a boy, you know, so I had to make him know that he was a king. He was trembling, he stopped trembling, I hugged him, and I had to make him know he's a king. We got to do that to our kids. If you see our little boys, and they're around here trying to put the woman, the girl, and trying to feel like that, oh, they're scared of the girl, or the girl is more aggressive than, we got to stop that, okay? Because remember, we had strong soldiers back then. Our boys were soldiers. If you go look at the, you know, the old time video, we had strong men was up there with their two-piece suits and everything, and those were the men, you know, who lead by example. Right now, I don't know if we really got men no more, right? So now, if we see things like that with our children, make them know, hug them and love them, and make them know that you will care, and make them understand that they are in fact kings, and they have to be built as kings so they provide and be a leader for their queens, okay? All right, you guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment. I love y'all. Bye now.